Welcome to Beatsource Tech. My name is Mojaxx and today we're taking a look at the latest from the Engine team. Firstly, we have Engine OS version 3.1 and there is new hardware from Denon DJ, the Prime 4 Plus. We'll begin by talking about the Engine 3.1 update. Alongside the usual bug fixes and the like, this also includes 3 fairly massive new features. I will also quickly mention the new ability to route the sampler to any channel or the master, which is a welcome addition to an already cool feature. The first big change is that the main effects have been massively expanded and upgraded. There's a huge list of them which I will demonstrate to you, but it's also important to note that you have more control over the effects too. Each one offers a frequency parameter, so you can choose which parts of the music the effect is applied to. I love this as I typically high pass almost all of the effects I use in my sets. Different engine hardware allows you to access the controls in different ways. With the Prime 4 and 4 Plus, for example, you have 2 separate effects units with a huge number of physical knobs and buttons. On the Prime Go, you have just as many effects but only one effect unit, and some of the controls are accessed in layers, still plenty intuitive though. And on the various new Mark Mixstream models, you are limited to the 4 effects named on the units, but you still have access to the new parameter controls via the touchscreen. So let's run through this suite of effects then. There's lots to look at here. They're all controlled with the same set of knobs up here. We have one on each side of the Prime 4 Plus. So we have the select, so we can choose which effect we're using. Then we have the effects on and off. We have a parameter control, which will change with different effects. We'll have different parameters you can affect. And then that is resettable by hitting that parameter button below. So if I fiddle around with that and just hit the parameter button, it's back to where it was by default. Frequency adjustment. All bands, and we can go high pass, low pass, and again we can reset that. Then we have the wet and dry control, and we have the beat adjustment there as well. So I'll show you with the echo first of all. Post fader and post crossfader, so the tail will carry on when you cut the crossfader out, or the up fader. You can adjust the feedback there. And then the frequency. So that's just the high frequencies and just the low frequencies. The wet and dry and the beat length. So let's move on. We've got echo out. So that one, once you get the wet and dry above a certain point, it then just echoes out. Without any fader, so I'm just not touching anything. It's echoing out. Again, adjust the beat length. And the frequency for that one. Swell verb. Change the room size, make some really squirrely noises, I love that. Delay. Flanger. Phaser. Hold echo. Ping pong. You can hear that going left and right in the stereo field. You can pan it wider or in a more narrow way. Recycler. Which is a very cool kind of unique delay sound. Then we got the roll, and we come to the end of the track, start again, right, and stutter out. Love this. I've seen this on other InMusic products before. Change the pattern over here. So that's the wet and dry, and then the pattern, we'll do pattern 3. Such a cool effect. Change how long it takes to do the stutter out. We do it over 1, 2, or 3 bars. Riser. A lot of these will mainly be familiar if you watched my review of the Rain 4 a while back. Lots of these are from that. Love pitch down, fantastic. Scale down as well. You can change the scale, so you can do minor, major, whole, pentatonic, lots of options. Reverb. LFO verb, so it's going to have like an adjustment, an LFO if you're not familiar. It's just basically giving it a low frequency oscillator as it goes through the reverb. So it gives it that kind of whooshing up and down effect. Reverb drop. So the reverb kind of pitches down. Reverb rise. That is a fantastic effect. Love that one. Another flanger. Auto gate. Do that kind of pumping sound. Beat break, so it gives us different patterns to work with. We first saw that one on the X1800 mixer. LFO filter, that's up and down, so it's filtering. Backspin. Let's go mid. And a break effect. Crush. There's so many here. And I think that's the end. There we go, we got to the end. So yeah, as you can see, tons of effects, all with all this different control over them. Absolutely superb. So the new main effects are great, but on top of that we now have the new touch effects implemented into 3.1 as well. It works the same on all devices, but again the mixed streams have a few less effects to choose from. So these are the touch effects which we first saw a little preview with on the Mixstream Pro Go. We can assign which channel they are playing on up at the top. You see we've got that up there, so we've got the waveform still visible, which is nice. We can see what's going on with the track. And we have various options as to which ones we do. So the first one that comes up is LFO Echo. Filter roll. And we can latch them. And that's it really, nice and simple. I'll just show you the rest very quickly. Filter dub echo. Filter gate. Noise gate, which is very noisy at the top. So be careful with that one, but it does sound very cool. Just mind your levels. They might want to tweak the levels on that, I think, in a future update. Maybe it's a bit much. Filter reverb, flanger. LFO filter. So yeah, just overall a really fun suite of touch effects to play with, loads of options. Really fantastic ways of controlling that. And they are post fader as well. So if you do an echo on there, you see, I've dropped the fader and it carries on playing as well. Yeah, fantastic. A really, really nice addition. The final big new feature in Engine 3.1 is found in the desktop software, and it's something I've been hoping to see for a long time: smart playlists. You can now create a smart list using a wide range of different criteria, either individually or in combination with each other. And once you've created that smart list, you can easily convert it to a regular playlist too, to keep it in its current form. You can't create or edit those smart lists on Engine hardware, but when exported, they show up on there as a regular playlist would. So that's Engine 3.1, and I'm sure by now existing Engine users will have seen that installing it is a no-brainer. Another fantastic update from the Engine crew. Speaking of updates, let's move on to the Prime 4 Plus. The first thing to say about this is that if you're expecting a major overhaul, the next generation of top-end Prime hardware, this is not that. To be honest, after 4 years, I was kind of hoping to see some new Pro hardware with that generational kind of leap by now. The Prime 4 was and remains great, but to see it just launched effectively again is not really what I had in mind. Because the 4 Plus is much like the Mixstream Pro Plus from last year, a modest update focused on bringing a more refined aesthetic and a hardware chip to enable the ability to use Amazon Music streaming on top of the other streaming services already featured in Engine OS. It definitely does look a touch classier than the original 4, with more black and dark grey parts replacing the silver on the OG. The pads and some other controls are also less prominently lit. That part I can give or take, I kind of prefer the old look. And the VU meters have been switched from green going into white to white and blue. That's certainly a cool look. The jog wheels have much the same feel as on the original 4 and contain the same screens, but the edges are now at a slightly steeper angle, which means that although they remain 6 inches in size overall, you actually end up with a larger touch surface. And when it comes to differences, that's it. At its core, the Prime 4 Plus is a Prime 4, which is no bad thing. The Prime 4 was a fantastic device when it launched in 2019, and it's actually even better today, thanks to the never-ending stream of updates and upgrades made to Engine OS. In terms of price, it should have a $2,200 street price in the US, which lines up with what I'd expect the original Prime 4 would have cost if it launched today thanks to inflation. It's priced at the high end of the market, but it's proved itself as a pro level piece, and so I think the pricing is fair enough. So let's break down what the Prime 4 Plus is all about. It has standalone playback for 4 decks, something the competition has only just achieved this year. The ability to use streaming services over Wi-Fi, Beatsource, Beatport, Tidal, SoundCloud Go Plus, and Amazon Music Unlimited. That's still not a feature the competition has today. Dropbox integration to play your own music from your own personal cloud storage. A sample player on board triggered with performance paths. Onboard analysis of local or streaming music. Lighting control with engine lighting, which takes Sound Switch and embeds it into the hardware to control DMX or smart lighting from Philips Hue and Nanoleaf, the incredible suite of main effects and touch effects which we've already discussed in this video, 4 selectable sweep effects, Serato DJ Pro and Virtual DJ Pro support, a fully featured zone output which can run a playlist through an output completely separate to the main one, and then that brings us to the hardware, a really solid build with 3 pairs of XLR outputs, master, booth and zone, 2 mic inputs with their own EQs and XLR jack combo inputs, line inputs on each channel with 2 switchable to phono level, 4 USB ports for connecting sticks or drives, plus an SD card slot, and a SATA drive bay in the base to allow you to leave an SSD permanently connected, high quality full colour displays in the jog wheels, and let's not overlook the fantastic 10.1 inch multi-touch main screen which can be set to a variety of angles. And that's not even all of it. But let's be clear, everything I just listed there also applies to the original Prime 4, apart from the ability to stream from Amazon Music Unlimited. So honestly, if you want a full breakdown of all the hardware features on the Prime 4 Plus, go and watch my original Prime 4 review. I'll link it above and in the description. And that brings me to the question of who should buy a 4 Plus. There's one very simple answer: people who were already looking at buying a Prime 4. Whilst there are no dramatic improvements to be found, it is marginally better in terms of looks and the jog wheels, and so there are 0 reasons why you shouldn't go for the 4 Plus instead. The people who I'd suggest should not buy the 4 Plus is those who already own a Prime 4. The overall cost of selling your original and making the switch is just not worth it in my opinion. Now I will point out that Denon DJ have promised one particular new feature which it seems will be unique to the 4 Plus, will be going into beta this summer, but that's not been announced today as I make this video, so I can't tell you to sell your Prime 4 off the back of that promise. Check back here in a few weeks to find out what's up with that. But as of right now, yeah, this is not the next generation of Prime gear, it's the Prime 4 again. But as the current generation is so good and so feature rich in 2023, maybe it doesn't really need to be. So there you go, a look at Engine 3.1 and the Denon DJ Prime 4 Plus. The engine update, fantastic. Great new effects options in there with the touch effects and the improved main effects. I love it. Plus we have smart playlists at last in the engine software. It's something I've been asking for the longest time. It's just how I work with any platform. I use smart playlists, smart crates to organize my music. And so having it in there now, that makes me very happy indeed. If you have any engine hardware, go ahead, get it downloaded, get it installed, because it is a genuine upgrade for your existing kit. And that brings us to the Prime 4 Plus, which, as I've made clear, I'm kind of conflicted about. You know, on the one hand, it is just a Prime 4 with slightly better jog wheels, Amazon Music streaming, and different coloured LEDs. That's what it is. It's a Prime 4. So, firstly, I mean, notwithstanding any potential future exclusive features which we can't talk about yet, but as of today, I have to look at it from as of right now when I'm making this video, a Prime 4 owner should definitely not upgrade to the Prime 4 Plus, because you're getting 3.1 for your Prime 4. And so all of the new features that have been added, they're all on your Prime 4 anyway. But if you were in the market for a Prime 4, then yeah, you should definitely buy the Plus. It's a little bit better. Fundamentally, it's the same hardware, but it's a little bit better. So that's where I'm kind of coming from with this. I can't help but be disappointed that at this stage in the development cycle, you know, the Prime 4 has been out for years. I can't help but be disappointed we don't have the Prime 4 Mark II or a Prime 8 or a Prime 6 or whatever the actual next generation of Prime hardware is probably going to be. I mean, it might be this is just it forever, but I don't think so. I'm sure that there will be some kind of new Pro gear eventually to replace the Prime 4, to, finally get rid of this initial design, which is still a great design. I mean, this is the problem, right? The Prime 4 and the Plus, fantastic bits of hardware. I know people in real life, lots of people now at this stage, who use the Prime 4 as their main part of their setup in their DJ career. They rely on it in a professional setting and it does a great job for them. And it is really good, and they keep upgrading it and keep adding new features to it, which is fantastic. But the gearhead in me is wondering, where is the next generation? And that's maybe my problem. That's a me thing. I don't know. But I'm just, at this stage, as I say, I was hoping for something completely new. The Prime 4 Plus isn't that. It is a solid upgrade, a solid update to the Prime 4. And if you were looking at the Prime 4 thinking that's the one for me, then yeah, the Prime 4 Plus should absolutely be the one for you. In the comments this week, let's talk about standalone. From both of the big platforms, we're seeing lots of new stuff added. Engine now has a sampler in there, a sample player, which is something I thought we might never get. And so we've got lots of new features added in there, new effects and so on like that. What do you want to see in the future of standalone hardware from any platform, whether you're a Pioneer DJ user, a Denon DJ user, or a Newmark, whatever you use? What would be the thing that would absolutely make your standalone life that much better? What would improve it? What would be a real quality of life improvement for you as someone who uses standalone gear? Let us know, sound off in the comments below. Thank you for watching this episode of Beatsource Tech. I do hope you've enjoyed it or found it useful. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. I'll see you next time.